Thanks. As the weather chills and the flowers go away, our Alexia Cadota-Browner has more on Fitchburg's evergreen art display.
Wildflowers of Wisconsin is a fiber art installation made up of crocheted flowers native to Wisconsin. It's on display at the McKee Farms Park in Fitchburg. More than 90 artists joined crochet workshops supporting the art-making process, making petals that went into the final installation. The Madison Public Art Project's goal is raising awareness about climate change and encouraging stewardship of the land.
We're hoping that it inspires people to act. We know it inspired them to come together, but there's so many more ways that we can continue our journey of being better stewards of the land. And it starts with individual inspiration that leads to action.
The artist Kirsten Darling encourages visitors to look closely at the intricate work and design of the art. You can even touch gently to notice all the little details. In Fitchburg, Alexia Cadota-Browner, WMTV 15 News.
The art piece will be on display through August of 2025.